So
Yes.
what is your number 3 and final pick for the what ifs?
So, and I really should have prefaced all of these with the fact that, and this is something that hopefully, if you watch the Nonsense Zone podcast, you'll see I'm an idiot. So, no, I mean, a lot of this stuff, especially saying that Mike Ditka wasn't a good coach, is stuff that's going to be very unpopular. Just keep in mind that I'm stupid. So, you can't get mad at a dumb guy. So, and so this, I know I've seen the comment forums on different articles and stuff, so I know that this isn't a popular opinion. But what if the Bears had drafted Patrick Mahomes instead of Mitch Trubisky? I'm going to say not. Sure. I'm going to say not much different would have happened.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So here's where. Yes. So first of all, look at that draft. Leading up to that draft, all of the draft prognosticators had Mitch Trubisky listed as their number 1 quarterback. It was really, is it going to be Mitch Trubisky or is it going to be Deshaun Watson? And it was like, oh, we all really like Patrick Mahomes, but he's a project. He's not going to be good for another few years. He's very raw. He's got the physical skill set.
He's a system guy. Texas Tech, they put up video game numbers in the Big 12, whatever. So yeah, I can see that.
So the people that really chastised Ryan Pace for, oh, that was horrible. What was horrible was that he traded up from 3 to 2 when he probably didn't have to do that. But taking Mitch, who everybody was really high on, I really, really blame Matt Nagy for the downfall of Mitch Trubisky. And I think as evidence to that, Matt Nagy is Patrick Mahomes' offensive coordinator right now. And Patrick Mahomes is having the worst season of his career. And it's because Matt Nagy is a very charismatic guy. And I think he could have been a good head coach if he had let his offensive coordinator call the plays. He doesn't have the first clue about rhythm, about getting your offense going. So many games, even the 2018 season where he won Coach of the Year, I'd be watching the game, run it on first down, get like a 3-yard gain, then get like a 2-yard gain, and you got 3 and 5. You've made some progress. And then you'd call like a triple reverse or something like that. That would, oh, gee, now we're, his gadget plays, horrible times that he called them, was a huge precursor to what we saw of what turned into just terrible game calling. I remember near the end when things were bad between Mitch and Nagy, and he was struggling, and they were playing against a really good Saints defense, and they knew he was struggling, and he still called 42 pass plays in a close game. You've got good running backs, run the ball. You've got David Montgomery. You've got Herbert wasn't there yet, but they had a strong running game. And then he famously made the comment, well, they didn't hire me to run out of the I formation. And then a couple of games later, you could tell somebody talked to him because he was running out of the I formation and they were running the ball really well. And he just trust the system. And it was, well, A, it was Andy Reid's system, not yours. And B, you don't really know how to run it. So I just feel like a young quarterback, he just totally trashed his confidence. Not saying that Mitch Trubisky will never, under the best circumstances, he would have never been as good as Patrick Mahomes is now. But I think he would have ruined Patrick Mahomes too.
That's a fair point. What if it was Deshaun Watson instead of Patrick Mahomes, who was, a 2-time national champ, I think, a much more, off-field discretions aside and current level of play aside. At one point, I think he started as a rookie. He, was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for a while. Would he have been Nagy proof?
I think he would have been I think he was more polished and more pro ready than any of the other quarterbacks. I don't know. I honestly don't know if anybody could have been, again, I made this comment that it's all in the team that drafts you. And I just feel like the Bears were, for a quarterback, the worst possible location for a quarterback to get drafted during that time frame, because and really Ryan Pace shares some blame. Again, not a problem moving on from Jay Cutler. But then as long as you have somebody better in mind, and his answer to that was Mike Glennon, and just horrible quarterback. Apparently a great teammate. Coaches love him. But
guy.
every time you got onto the playing field, he was awful. And so he starts the season, and then Mitch comes in, and that was during the John Fox era. But that's where I'm saying Pace shares some blame. I don't know. I don't know that.
So no
Deshaun
quarterback
Watson
is Nagy. I guess the bigger question I should ask you is, why can't a quarterback succeed in Chicago? Why have they not in the 100 years of the franchise?
We have hope now.
Yeah,
we have hope now because
you believe in Justin Fields.
I like Justin Fields. I don't know if
Okay.
I think he's probably done. I think this is probably his last year there.
Okay.
Could be wrong. I think the reason that we have hope now is we have a team president that is a football guy.
Okay.
So, Ted Phillips finally retired again, probably a great businessman. Doesn't know the first thing about football. He would hire committees of retired general managers to interview his head coaching candidates because he didn't know anything about football. So Kevin Warren is former SEC president, our chairman, and he has a long history of success in football. I think that maybe now moving forward, we have a chance. Again, really, when it looked like what were the Bears looking for? Somebody that's mild-mannered and not going to get us in the headlines by the words he says seem to be their top criteria.
For sure.